Hello.
Whoa, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How we
Hi.
doing? Welcome, everyone. We
Hello.
are a couple of absentees today. Obviously, Gabe for character reasons, which I will recap with. And OG couldn't make it today, but we do have everyone else here. Mark is here, off cam, but Mark is here, so we do have Mark. We've got Tracy, we've got Tomato, and we got Blizzy, all here and playing. So we get to move on. We get to see what comes next. My throat is a little bit scratchy today. It's not like painful. It's just my voice keeps cracking. So if I sound a little bit weird today, that's why. But how is everyone? How are we doing? We haven't played in a couple of weeks. Feels like ages.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Excited.
Time is a thing.
Time does
happens.
exist.
Time is a
It
thing.
keeps happening.
Yeah. And it goes. It just goes when you're not expecting it to.
Yeah. I think it could be going right now.
No, I don't know. That's conspiracy theory.
Okay, yeah.
Time
I
slows
am a
down.
little like suspicious.
Yeah. Check your resources.
I don't know.
So, does anyone have anything they want to shout out? If not, then we can dive straight into some D&D. I looked around at all the faces looking down.
Don't call on me. Don't call on me.
Okay. Then I'll do our recap because it has been a little bit of time. So it makes sense to pick up where we left off. So, bringing us into things. When last we ventured, we saw the beginnings of the Battle of the Mist. On Juno's side, she easily handled the few combatants that appeared. But on Draven's side, he went toe-to-toe, or better yet, heel-to-heel, against Achilles. The fight was close, but resulted in the death of Draven. Seeing trouble, Willoughby interrupted the Valkyrie Mist, causing her spell to fall apart and stop the battle. Juno found Draven and confronted Achilles, nearly leading to a fight, until Juno mentioned that none of his victories were being shown to the crowd. Furious, he went after Mist himself. Meanwhile, Mist threatened to kill mortals until she found who had interrupted her. With Willoughby admitting it, but managing to convince her that he was on a mission from Odin himself. Achilles challenged Mist during this, and the group wandered off to discuss their next step, letting the two fight without any audience. And when they returned, Mist had killed the Mesogaran champion. Draven's soul and the others who had died were trapped in some sort of limbo, and Mist offered to help save Draven if they did a favor. She held out the flying sword and asked if you could kill a god. We pick up outside of the Battle of the Mists. She stands there holding the flying blade. No, not currently flying. Just held in her hand, the metal, pointing the hilt outward, looking upon all of you.
Just kill a god, a specific god? Which tier of god are we talking about?
Lesser. But even a lesser god is a challenge. This blade might win you some favor.
Stronger or not as strong as Draven?
Hard to say.
Draven was pretty strong.
I don't know much about your friend. Nor do I know much about this god. But I know much about the one that keeps her. She pushes the blade even further out and says, the god Frey has a god captive from Mesogaia. We need that god dead.
And does Frey know that you want them dead?
No.
And I assume you don't want them to know that we were enlisted by you to do this, should we pursue this job.
It would be preferable.
Who are they?
The god that Frey has? We're not sure. He was supposedly attacked by several. One body was not accounted for.
Mm-hmm.
It is less of a who the god is, and more so of a distrustful nature toward Frey. He has had a unfortunate relationship with the Aesir gods. It is better that he does not have a bargaining chip of some sort. Also, as I see you are of the adventuring kind, I would also offer to give you my favor. I shall speak to the gods about empowering you. Provide boons.
I love boons.
Good.
How do we get the boons?
You work with me.
Where's the captive?
Good question.
I think Willoughby would, at the point of we established already that Willoughby feels extremely responsible for Draven's condition right now, but I think despite that, he's not going to make a call on whether or not we're accepting any job on this until we huddle as a group. So he's gonna intervene before Amanita goes any more into how much we all love boons, and be like, "Man, would you mind if we all talk for a moment about this? This is a pretty significant request."
She sits
kind of.
She kind of drifts to the side and almost sits in air. You see this kind of misty kind of chair form underneath her, almost like a stool. She sits. She starts strapping up some of her wounds as blood kind of dribbles down her chin, down her neck.
I was gonna say, I remember you saying that she said that most of the blood wasn't hers, but how injured does this Valkyrie look right now?
Make a medicine check.
Sure. Character sheet. I should get that open. Medicine. What's that? What we got? 17.
Achilles. I would say Achilles did a number on her. She is. He was wounded, but it's arguable that if he wasn't, he might have taken her down.
So she's in a bad shape.
She's not great.
Okay. Good to know.
So what are?
I'm assuming
all
we'll
of you
have this
thinking?
conversation away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willoughby would have kind of beckoned
Ushered us
everyone away to a huddle up or something.
I don't love the idea of basically assisting Odin. Right? That's what this boils down to.
Yes. I'm with-
Unfortunately,
I'm with Eldred.
I don't like it either, but I also feel deeply responsible for this. And if there is a way right in front of us to help Draven, then I and the other people who died here, I want to pursue that unless someone can.
Did
Give
she
me a better
imply that
option.
this would fix that?
She implied that she can help Draven, but I think it's just Draven. I don't know if she can help everyone trapped in this limbo. There's got to be there's got to be another way. There has to be. This happened because of the business with the fates. There's got
But
to
this
be
is-
another way that we can.
This is a
prevent
way
this.
that's right in front of us. And she has boons. Maybe not enough boons for all of us. but I can handle boons.
There's plenty of ways to get power in this world, but I don't want to help Odin. Not anymore.
Do we have any other ways to help Draven?
We could pursue the fates.
Right.
I mean, this all started because of what happened between the Fates and the Norns. And this business with Hell. We know that Hell is currently something is going on there. We know that that's not currently working as intended. There's something bigger than all of this. This is whatever solution this Valkyrie is offering us is a temporary band-aid. It maybe helps Draven, maybe. But beyond that, we're just playing into Odin's game. But I appreciate, Willoughby, that this weighs heavily on you. If you want to do this to help Draven, I understand. I'll go with you. I'll do whatever is required, but I don't like it. I don't like any of this boons and God's games and any of it.
I think that's the issue right now, is that we're dealing with a maybe they could help us, or a maybe if we look into the other ideas we have, maybe those can help us, but fortunately this maybe is at least right here.
I understand.
I don't want to be the deciding choice on this. I would like it to be something that we are all in agreement on.
What would
do
be what would be our next steps with pursuing the fates?
I can't.
You had a recipe to get to the Grey Sisters. Was the idea.
The Grey Sisters aren't the Fates. They're the people that might know how to get to where the Fates are supposed to be.
Yeah, they might have some idea of what's going on. They kind of almost mimic the
Fates? Not Fates or Norns?
Fates, the Mesogoian Fates. This is
Okay.
Yeah, the Grey Sisters and then the Fates, because the Norns are separate. We already met the
Right.
Norns, and they basically just went, "We're done. We out."
I don't know if the Fates, because the Fates are for Mesogaya, right?
But it's all connected. The Norns, we know from Bragi that we know that a lot of things changed when the Fates in Mesogaia and the Norns here, something happened to break it all up, to stop following whatever the destinies of the gods are supposed to be intact. And that was about the same time that the souls stopped going to where they're supposed to be going. I can't believe it's not connected in some way. But it is another journey entirely, and like Willoughby says, it is not right here, and it is not even a guarantee.
Also, this god has to be the wind guy, right? That we saw fighting.
Amanita, we sort of know a little bit more about what this Valkyrie is talking about. We witnessed Frey.
I think that you all know a lot more about everything. It's complicated.
It is. I just want to try and give you as much information as we can. But yeah,
I
this
just-
Frey god fought and killed some others. We thought one got away, or it sounds like maybe Frey captured them, and it's all connected.
I just want to do what Draven would have wanted us to do. Would he have wanted us to help this Odin?
Joe, I refresh my memory. Which one of us basically offered like, hey, we'll do work for you. Like, if you have any like openings
Draven.
for like stuff, was it Draven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was willing to hear job offers, but I don't think he would want this. I think he'd rather us take the long way.
I think that but I do think part of him would have jumped at the chance for power as well. If this Valkyrie
And
can
that
give us
sword.
boons and that sword, I think Draven would have accepted an opportunity to obtain it as well.
Right. But if he's,
Feel-
I mean, he's,
Yeah.
you know, fan of Fenrir.
Hmm.
Fenrir is not
A fan of Odin.
destined to be friends with Odin.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Balaka.
Well, I'll go with all of you, but I like boons. I like that sword. And we're right here.
Joe? Can you message like OLG? Can you just text her like,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
like get like because I don't want to make a
I think
decision
I'm getting a
without her
little.
as well.
I'm slowing
Okay,
down
sure.
my roll a little bit because I really would like to know what OLG's thoughts are.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I feel
Aaron,
like that might be the breaking vote as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Eldred and Juno are kind of on the same wavelength.
She'd be
but I
fuck
feel like-
Odin, right?
I
But she does have
dunno.
a boon of Odin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me just message her. Odin through the Valk.
I figured Draven would want us to seek out the fates anyway,
Mm.
and we want to do this eventually anyway, right?
Yes, I suppose I'm just.
It is. I know it's a not high likelihood, but I don't know how high this likelihood is either.
The way that I see it is, sure, this Valkyrie maybe offers us a chance to help Draven, but there has to be a way to help everyone trapped in that limbo. I mean, Eldred, you said that you heard hundreds, thousands of voices trapped there. It sounds like nobody's been
Hundreds.
going.
I don't think thousands were.
Thousands, hundreds. It sounds like a lot of people are getting trapped, not just the people from this fight, but a lot of
Oh.
people are being trapped. It sounds like, I mean, there wasn't 100 people. 100 people didn't die in that one arena. Maybe, 50, 60?
I don't know. We couldn't see.
I mean, when I came out, there were more people. I don't know. I just got the impression, but I could be mistaken. But from also the way that she was speaking, the way that she was talking, I got the impression that this is not something. This has been happening for a while. Souls haven't been going to Valhalla like they should.
Lena's going to step up. And she would say, I think the Grey Sisters is a good idea. But also, this lets us keep a tab on Odin. If we kill this god, we'll get Odin's favor. We don't want to keep him happy and do his bidding, but keep your enemies close.
Yeah. I suppose this isn't exactly going to be a war-changing situation.
Okay, how about this? We do what this Valkyrie wants. We try and fight and maybe even kill this Frey. I would certainly like to know if that's even possible. But if we do
She
it,
wants
I
us
don't.
to avoid Freyr, no?
Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
don't
Yes,
think we have to-
Well, that's
Just
true.
as we don't
I-
get caught, ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want
Just
to.
get the
I don't want to.
captive.
Yeah. I mean, this captive. Why kill them? I don't know.
It's just so that Freyr doesn't have this bargaining chip to.
Right. Why don't we free the
Hangover.
god instead? I mean, it's one of
Yeah,
my
yeah.
It's a god of one of my people. I don't want to necessarily kill a god of my
Double
homeland.
boons.
Well, I
We
mean,
could free them instead.
we have a lot of options once we get there. We don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to
Do
follow
what?
through with the original plan. At the end of the
Sounds
day,
like-
either way, I think I'm much less concerned with the political implications of all of these decisions, and I think that's where most of our breaks in agreement have been. If all of you want to step back and not get involved in this because of Odin, I do understand we can look for other options, but frankly, I'm more just concerned about Draven than whether or not it helps Odin.
I said to myself after that battle that I want to try and make the world a better place than I leave it. If that means helping you, Willoughby, then so be it. If this will bring you some comfort or some peace or something like that, then it's the least I can do. It's the least I owe you.
Let's ask Mist if she thinks if she will try to help us save just Draven or all of the trapped souls.
And if we do this boon, maybe we ask for a few more answers as part of our payment. I don't want a boon from Odin or any of these gods. I'll take answers in payment instead. I want to know why. I want to know what this is all about. Why have the souls stopped going to Valhalla? What's connected to it all? Maybe if we earn their trust, maybe they'll share some more information with us.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, let's
at least,
do it.
Let's help Draven pass on.
Yeah, but I guess we walk back.
Okay. She looks all up to all of you. Have you made your decision?
We have, although we have some follow-up questions, but we'll get the important thing out of the way. Yes, we are interested in pursuing this. Although we are curious now how difficult it is. If you truly believe you can help our companion, and on top of that, if you think you can help the others that are stuck, or if this is just a one-person deal.
I will help the others as well.
Can I insight check that? To see if
Yes,
it's actually being
her
shown?
body language. She shook her head.
Yeah.
When you shake
this
your
is-
head
I've
when
got
you say
Dragon
something
Constellation up still.
affirmative.
So that's a oh boy, that's gonna be a 21, not a nat 20.
Yeah, no advantage.
Didn't have advantage. So.
You see there's a bit of hesitation on it. It seems almost like she's somewhere between kind of a reluctance to do it and also kind of it looks like she's aggravated at the idea that a mortal's going to stand up to her and kind of demand terms.
Well, if it would simplify this process, we're less interested in boons to begin with. We're more interested in solving this problem and perhaps receiving some answers from Asgard regarding our work
and what work
and
is
our
that?
investigation.
What specifically do you want answered?
Those specifics are things we can cover once we finish the job. All I want is the confirmation that you will hear us out and hear those questions and give us genuine answers off of them. But I'm not going to go into the details of those until the job is complete. That would be...
And I'm not
Pointless.
going to guarantee you that our answers will be genuine then.
Well, simply having the agreement of an audience to speak is fine if we establish that.
To the All-Father. You want me to grant you an audience to the All-Father.
An audience with you would have also worked, but the Allfather would be even more convenient.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm not good at this. That's a 4.
An audience with me would also work then.
Perfect.
But we will have your word, Valkyrie, that if we prevent Frey from having access to this Mesogaian god, if we deny them this bargaining chip, you will help our friend escape this limbo and pass on to where their soul is supposed to be. Your word.
My word.
I know that oaths have power in these lands.
They do.
Good.
Your friend's soul is not a consequence to me. I don't have a reason to lie.
Whatever game this is, if it gets us what we need, we'll play for now.
Willoughby said that they weren't interested in boons, but I definitely am. And if we're going to pull this off, then I think that sword would help us out a lot. That really shiny sword.
She hands out towards you. Yes, I think so too. Because if you return this to Frey, he'll be very happy.
Through his body? Return it through his body?
They're new. They're new. They're
No.
new.
New to
They've
everything.
been. They're not exactly up to date with everything going on.
She lowers the blade and kind of plants it into the ground and looks at you. I'll grant you a minor boon right now.
I'm ready.
Asiakan. She pushes her hand forward and places it on your shoulder. And you get this swivel of almost like an anchor symbol. And then you see it's kind of, all of the metal is slightly wonky and broken. And she moves her hand away. It takes some time to
what did you-
understand that power. But the blade is yours.
Oh, this is great.
This was once Frey's.
The very same.
And we should keep it away from him.
That would be up to you. It is likely that he would destroy anyone wielding it. However,
How do I wield this thing? It's kind of flying, floaty.
take some time to learn its properties. Take some time to learn its magic.
Okay, you just got a minor boon. Let's all calm down. He's going to step in the way if they try to claim the sword.
Yeah.
But your insinuation is that if we present this sword back to Frey as a gift or returning it, whatever wording fits, they will be pleased with us, perhaps grant us access to this Mesogyne god, or perhaps to their inner circle of trust, or some such.
Frey has a very small circle.
Hmm.
He has been a thorn to the All-Father. We do not wish his death, for his sister is Freya, and she is kind and wanted. However, Frey has always found himself acquiring mismatched individuals. His hunting party calls them. This might be an introduction to it.
Hmm.
You took the sword back from the one Achilles. Use it however you wish. If you can get past them without gifting them the sword, then all power to you. But if you must use it as your own form of bargaining, then do so.
Is this just a tattoo?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
No, I've given you a gift.
Hmm. Can I insight when she says gift? Because I'm
Sure.
not. I'm
Can
not
I
convinced.
can I
it
give
is.
help on that?
Yeah.
I'll take the advantage. Thank you, Willoughby. That's a 20, unnatural.
She is clearly humoured by something in regards to it. There's a little bit more at play.
Does it look good? Aldred, do you like it?
It looks fine. It doesn't really seem your style.
I have style.
Well, we'll take the sword. And Willie will put his hand out to take it.
She lifts it off the ground and then passes it to you. You kind of get this. The blade itself is kind of etched along it. What languages do you speak?
Wilby speaks Celestial, Druidic, Primordial, Sylvan, and Common.
In Celestial, you'll see the sun revealed me, the wind carried him to me, and the sky never wept a drop. Written in kind of this very small font across the blade. It's kind of got a hilt that's almost woven out of twigs and branches that you would have recognized to be from Alfheim. But with a glowing jewel at the bottom that looks like a cherry almost, but it's made of gold and kind of like gleams at the bottom, lights off a small bit of light, almost like this kind of almost greenish golden hue. That doesn't seem of Alfheim. The blade itself has a very slight turquoise color to it, etched in with the steel. And the writing kind of glimmers on top.
Okay.
Now, how you find him is up to you. There are those of Alfheim that might know where he is. Otherwise, he likes to be nomadic.
How do we find you when this is done?
She looks at Eldred. I see death within you. If you allow me to split one of those souls within yourself, one of the ones you have taken, I can track you through that.
Split?
Do we have a telepathic link still up? as a
Should.
group? Okay.
I don't know how
Sorry.
many people are on it.
Sorry,
There's
carry
the
on
whole
with what
group.
you said. Just wanted to check before I say
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, we should.
I think Juno would just out loud say, "No, I'll wait a beat."
Yeah, I
But-
want to let Eldred. They were going to
Yeah.
say something.
Split one of these souls that I've just started hearing, or
Exactly. More stretched than split.
this does not sound like it would be pleasant for them.
It is a minor moment of torment in a eternity. It would matter little.
Juno might think if we have the telepathic link up, assuming that we've got it between
Yeah.
those present. I don't like the idea of her being able to track us.
Yeah, last thing we need is if they can track us, then we really only have one trajectory for this job, and it's to do it right or not at all.
I don't like the idea of that. Is there another way we can contact you or find a messenger or...
There must be another way.
When do you plan to do the job?
Pretty immediately, I suppose. I don't think we have anything else
Then I wait
Uh,
here for 3 days.
pressing. Okay.
And if you do not return in 3 days, then I will come to try and find you.
Okay.
Does that sound
Alright.
fair?
Fair.
Sure.
3 days. Here.
3 days.
It would take a while for us to get to Alfheim, no? If that's the best starting point.
We can probably get horses at Burka if need be.
I don't know. 3 days, right? That's for us to get all the way down to Alfheim and back.
Do you know if there are any? I suppose maybe you wouldn't know. Maybe there's a less traveled route to Yggdrasil around here, and we could take the fast way.
Or do you have a means of taking us to to the route faster?
Oh, I probably could. It's just I've been trying to avoid taking those because they are, well, a little dangerous.
Hmm.
Three days, or I'd track you.
What is your means of tracking?
The stretching of the soul.
You. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Where else can we look besides? Because the route to Alfheim is so far.
I mean, there's always the other option. You attempt to call to him.
Right.
There's the Temple of Freya in Burka. Perhaps if we can get a message to his sister, she can pass the message on.
So do you want a really dangerous, really fast run, or call the guy?
I'll take the first one. Either way.
Yeah, I like the first one better.
Yeah. Thinking telepathically, I really don't think we should let her track us. Who knows how long she'll be able to do it as long as she carries one of these split souls of that Eldred has. I don't trust this Valkyrie.
Okay. Well,
Oh, is this whole conversation going on telepathically right now?
Unfortunately.
Darn!
Well,
Okay,
not the
I'm
whole
just
thing.
chilling.
I think
I'm just-
a lot of the stuff we said out
Ooh.
loud, some of it was fine.
Yeah.
But some
Okay,
of the,
okay.
We're not sure about her is telepathic.
Okay.
what Willoughby just said would have been said out loud. I don't
Yeah.
think he's like that. Doesn't need to be kept.
Okay,
secret.
I'm just
It's
trying to keep
the
track.
reality of the situation.
Got it.
Everyone has to do the Xavier
hang on.
when you're talking
I'll
to your
do-
mind. You know, the
I
little-
can put like an
Oh.
echo on
Fingers
my
to the head.
voice
We can
whenever I do
start.
telepathic. Yeah.
It's okay, it's okay. I'll try to keep up.
Okay, 3 days.
3 days. Starting now.
Okay.
I mean, this is out of character discussion question, but like now that we've met Mist, like Eldridge, can you get access to like sending spells and stuff like with Cleric? Because then we can just message her and be like, "Yo, come meet us here. We got your shit."
That is true.
I
Sending fourth or
suppose
fifth.
so.
Sending, I think,
Yeah,
is
it's
third.
third.
Yeah.
Third, yeah.
So okay. So
Yeah,
worst case scenario,
yeah.
maybe we can just use that to be like, "Oi,
Mhm.
Valkyrie, you got your
True.
shit. Meet us in Burke or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah, okay. We have a
Alright.
backup.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
See you in 3 days, then.
3 days.
Thank you for being a friend. Okay, bye.
Thanks for the boon.
Juno's not thanking this Valkyrie.
Yeah.
No, he definitely doesn't say thank you to them.
Yeah.
Just gives them like a look. And then we go.
All right.
We leave her.
Okay.
Leave.
And I guess start heading back towards Alfheim, or do you want to try and track down a fast travel tomorrow?
The way I think that if we were gonna do like finding another route, and the only way I think this would work because of how long it's been since Willoughby's been in Asgard doing this kind of thing, would be going back to where he lived. We'd have to go back to the ruins of evil
Okay.
and basically try to find if there was any remnants of his old place there still
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't absolutely destroyed. Because I
Gotcha.
think how that would have to play out if we were going to go that route.
Yeah, like find like old journal notes and maps and stuff like that that might have some of the
That's about the same
Pathways.
distance from where we are right now as Burka
yeah.
would be.
I mean, if Willoughby thinks that that's an option, like maybe he might have like some shortcut to Alfheim hidden there. I think that that sounds like some classic D&D shit, and I'm well up for it. But also, I think that like Juno would trust Willoughby's former sort of like knowledge and life. to perhaps have a quicker way? Because that's what, like about a day's travel from here to the ruins?
Less than.
Less than,
because
okay.
you're pretty close.
Oh, right,
I'd say
okay.
half a day.
Yeah, I mean it's worth a gander, right? Also, keep Joe on his toes.
Yeah, I was hesitant to bring this one up because I'm like, I don't think that was ever something we had established as any kind of idea before now.
So is that where you're heading?
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I
interesting.
think while we're walking, we'll do a double check with everyone. So,
Yeah, let's.
how are we? Which way are we all feeling about doing this? Are we?
I mean, it
of
would
those
take
Let's
us
look
three
what?
at-
options?
Most direct option. Yelling out for him, trying to get his attention, going to the temple, being like, "Yo,
Yes,
guy."
pros and cons of most direct option. He knows we exist immediately. He's clocked us. We have to give the sword back immediately, no matter what, but we're in. And if we have the sword, there's no way they're not going to hear us. I can assume.
I did think about this. I mean, we could just hide the blade and then say, "Hey, we've got information of where it might be," but that's a risky play. I think.
that sounds like it's going to end in us dead."
I saw that guy kill
Yeah.
gods. I saw him rip them up, and I don't want to get ripped up for lying,
No.
to be honest.
Like, wouldn't he be able to sense it? He might like whistle out to him or something, you know?
I think so. It'd be the kind of thing where we'd have to like bury it somewhere nearby and go back for
Right.
it. It was just a thought I had. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind giving the blade back.
I don't want
care
to give
about
it back. We just got it. It's cool.
I don't know how.
I mean, I don't use swords anyway, so. But
I don't know
if
how
Amanita wants to keep it-
magnanimous he is if we were to bring it to him and be in good faith, like, "We got this
We'd
from a
have to explain
Valkyrie
how we
for
got it.
you." We
And-
say we stole it or whatever. We have this
Or
for
we can say we
you.
killed Achilles.
Could you do something for? Is he gonna be like just so grateful that he hands over this god, or is he gonna be like, "Yeah, that's mine. Give it here. Bye."
I feel like the best case scenario of that is that we get in, but we aren't going to be given the god we're looking for.
No.
We're going to get into a place
If
and then be left to our devices once
That's
we're
what-
there.
I think so. I agree with Billy. I think that if Frey has this kind of motley crew of vagabonds and outcasts, then he has a place where they all gather and hang out, right? Maybe we get an invite to Frey's cool clubhouse, and then whilst we're there, we look for a way to free this other god. Like, and I don't know how you feel about it. I know we briefly discussed it, but for me, my play would be to get this god released, get them free, let them escape, and that would still bind the Valkyrie to complete their oath to us. I was careful with
Yeah.
my wording. The deal I made was that as long as that Frey doesn't have that as a bargaining chip, they have to help Draven.
Yeah.
That was smart.
But I mean, I'd rather do that because, as far as I know, I mean, look, I'm not the biggest fan of all of the gods, but I know that those lesser Mesogaian gods we saw, I think that they're just more pawns in this grand game that's being played. I don't think that they're. I mean, I don't know them. They were minor. I know of them, but I don't think they deserve to be kept prisoner and fed upon by Frey. He seemed like a complete asshole.
So
Yeah.
that's pros and cons. What are the cons of that? I guess again we are on their radar. If we screw it up, then
Yeah.
we are absolutely toast. That's it.
Yeah, we have to give the sword back. We're on their radar. They might not even hear us. It's, we don't know if necessarily they'll even. I mean, I guess if we've got the sword, they'll probably hear us.
Like, why would they? We're just mortals. Just take. Why wouldn't they just? He's an asshole. Why wouldn't he just take his sword and go? Like,
I don't know.
we're
They
lucky
like
he
to
leaves
be.
us alive.
They like to lord it over, right? Like, I mean, we've seen with some of them alike, they're very much, "Oh, you did a good thing for me. Have a special treat. Well done. You're my best friend now. Until you're not useful anymore." But the other option is, yeah, I mean, the other option, I guess, is we try and find a quick route to Alfheim. I mean, we could ask Balder. Balder might know where Frey is.
That's true, if Balder is still there. And as far as a quick route is concerned, I have to confess, while I know that they are around, it's been a long time since I've been around here. I would have to, well, we'd have to go back to Evil.
Right. Well, you're the only one who knows where those places might be, Willoughby. So
Let's try that first.
it's not too far from here, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's been centuries. God knows if my place is even still intact, let alone whether or not it's been ransacked. I had a basement, so perhaps there's some stuff in there. But I mean,
I know it's
my
a bit
old
of a,
work was.
I know it's a bit of a heavy question, Willoughby, but are you sure you're okay with that?
No,
I mean,
I'm not ready.
yeah,
Oh, absolutely
it's
not. I
been a
don't want to
tough
go there at
day.
all. But I also
Right.
don't exactly want to call upon Frey in a temple to summon us to his realm so we can murder a Messagian god either. So, well, which one of those things would I prefer to confront? And I guess I'd rather go back home.
Oh, we'll be there with you, at least. Okay. Amanita, I mean, I know. Oh man, we're talking about a lot of things that happened before we
I'm
even met you.
still trying to understand the concept of maps.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good point.
Think instead of bundles of
Yes.
sticks and etc., it's kind of like a piece of paper with a big drawing on
And
it,
Miss
where the
kept saying
drawing-
like 3 days, 3 days, and I was like, how
Right,
many
you don't-
sticks is that?
Yeah,
you
don't-
but you know, you don't know what a day is then in length at all.
I'm kind of
Is that
getting
what
a
that means?
feel for it. I think I'm
One-
getting a feel for it. And now that I have this, I feel like my intelligence is growing at a very fast rate.
Can I am
Okay.
not good at Arcana, but I feel like someone's got to try to do an Arcana check on this
Yeah.
thing.
Good luck to you,
Sure.
Val.
What even
Feel
what even
stronger?
is that, anyways? That's a 15 Arcana check.
Oh
Seems
my
like
god,
some
my
sort of
Arcana's
rune.
better than yours.
That's
I
it.
honestly thought it was going to be a means for her to track us and spy on us, but then she asked for a means to track us.
Yeah, I don't know. And frankly, they were laughing when they did it, but that could have just been they could have just been
Because
thinking of
they have
something
a
else that
great
was
sense
funny.
of humor.
Yeah.
What's the joke?
I don't know, but did you know that I'm quite tall? I have been called Fungus. I'm working with humor.
Uh,
Okay.
I see none of you know anything about that.
I can't say I know what a hufungus is now.
It's me. It's me. Anyway, does anyone know anything about
Let me have a
This?
look, see if I know anything.
here?
At that
I
point,
get
a
a
don't.
bird-
closer look.
Nope.
You just get hit by the droppings of a bird on your arm.
Amanita
on the
does?
tattoo?
Amanita does. Yeah, around the tattoo.
Huh.
Oh, lucky!
All right. Well, I rolled a
What are-
natural one, so
What are the odds?
I do get inspiration. I can use.
Wait, did that bird land anywhere nearby?
No, it's still
Just en
flying
route.
up. Just en route.
Yeah.
Can
To
I
save
roll-
these nutrients.
That is such a wild coincidence. I want to roll like a d20 to see if Wilby like it tries to yell at that bird or like,
Okay, yeah,
that's such
sure.
a wild
You.
thing to have happen right there. Hang on.
What'd you do that for?
On an 11 or higher, Wilby's gonna yell after the bird. He doesn't care enough. What are the odds of that? Huh.
That's a good point. I suppose it would be like maybe nutrients or something for Amanita, like you know,
Yeah,
delicious. What a
helps me
gift.
grow.
Afraid I don't recognize this rune. I'm afraid I don't know what it does, Amanita. Whatever she did, though, I mean, There may be benefits to it. There may
Definitely
be consequences.
benefits. Yeah, I feel.
mean, here's the thing.
I mean, I'm glad you feel okay. You feel
Yeah.
good. That's good. But
Smart.
let us know if you stop feeling good or if
Okay.
you notice anything
Yes.
unusual.
And now that you have a boon, you could like slow your roll a little bit on talking about how desperately you want a boon, you know, because I feel like you got pretty lucky that they weren't.
I'm super lucky.
We haven't
Do you
really
think
yelled
do you think
at
that's
anyone
what the
and been like,
boon
Give
is?
us a boon. Most of the time they come to you.
Do you
when
think the boon is
earn-
luck?
You got shit on by a bird.
I've been
You got
pretty
shit on by a
lucky
bird.
lately.
I don't
That's-
think if
that's
it's
a
luck,
good
I don't
thing.
think that's it. Is
Been
that a good
pretty
thing?
lucky. I feel lucky.
That's
I
a
think
good thing.
I think that's what it
for them.
is. It's a good luck boon.
Sure. You know, things like luck can be a matter of perspective. What is unlucky for some can be lucky for others.
That's true. Yeah. No one has anything to worry about.
Sure. With that, Juno starts worrying. Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
Will be full on thinks they're cursed right now after they said that.
Feeling good.
Okay. So we head to Irufal?
Evil, right?
Yeah,
Evil?
the ruins, yeah.
Evil.
Evil.
See if you can find any of your notes and maps. See if there's a quick, a small route to Alfheim or some such. If that fails, then maybe we try and reach out to Frey directly. And then once we can make their acquaintance, we sort of earn their trust, get included into their special cool club. Hopefully learn more about this Mesogain god and what they're trying to do and find a way to try and help them or free them or worst case scenario. Honestly, if Frey is doing something horrible, torturing them, keeping them trapped there or something, it may even be a mercy to kill them. So, but let's take that as we arrive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's also we need to decide what to do with Draven's body. We've been carrying it around for a while, and
I can process it.
You're not
No.
processing,
yeah,
but
I
that
don't
It
is-
know
will
if
take
that's
many bundles.
I kind of think Draven would be cool with it, though. Now I'm not sure. He used to eat a lot of other things. And maybe
He let
he'd
me
kind of
eat
be
that
cool
heart
with it.
that one time.
Yeah.
You know, but could we pick something that we know they're gonna be cool with, and not something they
Like-
kind of may be
Like
cool
just his heart.
I mean, I don't know much about. I know that Draven. I know that he said he was from Mesogaia, but sort of not. I know that he came from a place where it is hot and there was a lot of sand. He mentioned that to me once when we first met. Perhaps we could find a coast, but actually saying that we're very landlocked here. I just don't know if like being buried in the dirt is really what, or being burned maybe. I don't know. I don't know anything about what he would have wanted.
Being burned feels too
Too hot.
Too final,
too Midgardian.
too Midgardian. Yeah.
I don't know much about funerals or any of that, so I think I'll just kind of stay out of it while we decide.
Joe,
whether
can
or
I
not we're
do
gonna
like? Can I
I'm
do
gonna
like
devour them?
a check to see if I can remember Draven mentioning anything, or like a history check, or see if I might have known something about.
About his.
Perhaps we should ask each other these things before like going into a deadly battle.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
For.
True.
I don't know about the one to recall Draven because I wouldn't be able to recall because I don't think he's
Yeah.
mentioned it.
Or maybe like to see if I would have read anything about because he mentioned Ducat and he's mentioned a few things of like being from a
Duat.
land. I think he
Yeah.
mentioned east of east, yeah.
Yeah,
of,
you
Mesogaia.
could do a
Religion?
yeah, do a religion check.
Sure. 18. I'll take it.
18's not bad. For the most prestigious deaths, the custom would be to bury them, entomb them with their possessions. You would have heard maybe of the term of mummification is a kind of a very respectful way to say goodbye to one who was a prince, a pharaoh, potentially even a god. But at the very least being buried with your riches
possessions,
or anything that might give you a bit more leeway in the afterlife is seen as at least a custom that is of the
And like
people who do
stone
that.
tombs, because obviously, you know, I don't know about
Yes.
sarcophaguses and things like that. Okay. So I think like maybe Juno would kind of mention and be like, yeah, well, from what I remember reading and when he mentioned Ducat, I know that they're entombed. So yeah, things like a funeral pyre wouldn't fit. Maybe if we can find somewhere as we get closer to the mountains, we can maybe find a cave and set up a rudimentary sort of tomb. But mainly it is important that we make sure that he is buried with or left with his possessions. That's important, if I remember the readings. Make sure that he has his armor, his weapons, his riches with him when he goes. Unfortunately, I remember a process used for their kings and their princes and princesses, but it is a ritual that is, I do not know the details of. It involves removing organs and drying out the body and bandages. It's not one
Removing
I know, unfortunately.
organs, removing the heart
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
processing, which I can do.
No,
And
I
I
think
could
they
probably
keep
carry a
them-
heart with me.
Is
Oh.
this something that, Eldred, do you have any way to kind of just like slow the, like, can we just like, is there a way that you could set this up so we can postpone this burial for a couple of days? We've really,
That's a good
like,
point.
I really feel like,
Okay.
uh,
Well, look, if we're heading into the mountains anyway, maybe we can find a cold cave that will help. We can place them there. I mean, I don't mind between Lena and I think that we can carry them a little ways. So, but no processing.
Oh.
Looks at Amanita. No,
Oh.
no processing.
none.
Okay.
And just to be clear, if I die, no processing. None.
But you would be the
Same.
most processable.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. I will respect your wishes.
God, I'm trying to think, I guess, Juno's would be the traditional Mesogyne method. So, I imagine there's, oils and things.
Mhm.
I'm going to look that up while we do other stuff.
Okay. So, you have your
You can
direction.
process me, Amanita.
I would love that. And I would do a great job returning you to the earth through my body.
Nasty.
Which
It's
way-
natural.
Which way are you heading? Towards the ruins?
Yeah, I think it's as much of a straight line as Wilby can manage, knowing the area.
Okay. The journey there is like walking on stranger's ground that you're somewhat familiar with. You realize that you haven't walked these paths for longer than you ever walked them. It's like returning to your first childhood home. The nearby woods and mountain area, so familiar to you. So you spend some time kind of reminiscing and getting closer. And within half a day, you come over the top of this small hill where you can see the frost has started to gather on the top of grass, wrapping itself up like a blanket across the mountains nearby. And embedded around them, in kind of almost like a basin beneath the mountains, are the ruins. The once large town, one of the largest, with several temples built all into it, crumbled. The buildings here look as if they've been stationary since the day they were destroyed. The lightning marks of Thor still kind of rippling against them. The cold that has frozen in some of the rocks and caused them to crumble still rests upon the portions that have weakened over time. And you see this abandoned, desolate town. Of this period of time, Iovol was probably one of the first to ever build out of stone. There are some wooden structures which have decayed over time, but the stone ones have remained there. But it does seem empty. The pathway is a winding road heading down towards the ruins. You would recognize home.
Well, it's not exactly how I remember it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Willoughby.
I didn't spend as much time here as I probably should have anyways, so...
Can you travel?
Willoughby will start walking towards... I think his place where he would have kept his maps and everything, and likely where he and his family would have lived, would have been in, like, the market district, because obviously he would have had to have sold these maps.
You journey down into the streets and see those familiar pebbles and cobblestones that you stepped on, leading your way down towards the market. Who's got the highest passive perception?
Willoughby.
Yeah, Willoughby, and then I
18
think
Willoughby.
18 for Juno as well. And I have, the advantage is on active checks for the goggles.
You hear something. The crunching of stone nearby. And then a hand on a building behind you, pressing on stonework. It's the middle of the day. There's nothing of the night, and this place doesn't seem to cast much shadow, as the sun is high in the sky. But Juno, you would see behind you, there's this large hand, not quite the size of a giant, but somewhere in between. Pulls a head round, you see the corner of this head. Bald, an eye that's icy blue, staring right at you. There seems to be almost a shadow casting upon them, which doesn't really match that of the sky.
Acting as if I've not seen or done anything, just trying to keep it calm, just say, something's following him, something's watching him.
Well, just want something.
Yeah, just describe, like, whispered, 3 buildings back on the right side or whatever it is, wherever it happens to be. Not quite a giant, but something.
If something's following us, I'm going to need a bit of time once we arrive, if where we're going to is even still intact, to look around, so we probably should address this sooner rather than later.
All right. Juno will move away from the group ever so slightly, just in case. Not too far that I can't be seen. And stop, and then turn to look directly at this creature, like whatever it is, and then just...
Want to start taking like a defensive stance, just on edge.
It stretches its head out and matches your gaze. You see its two great big icy blue eyes. Its nose huffing out heavy plumes of the cold and frost around it. It feels like it's almost colder for it than it is for you. Shadows
Hello?
are cast across it almost like a veil. But it has no mouth. It leans round the corner, showing half its body, and you can see stitched into its skin are a series of wolf pelts. It tilts its head. And it reaches down into a sack, pulls out a small, almost pigeon-like bird, places it on the ground, and you see it. You'd see a moment when it opened up its sack, it's almost got like an aviary in there. You see this bird hop, hop, and then fly over to you, and land, with only like a foot or two away from you. The creature just draws back into its just eye and hand on the side of the building, watching.
Okay.
The bird looks across all of you. And begins looking on the ground, searching for any food.
I'll break up some rations, toss it to the bird.
It begins pecking and eating it.
We don't mean any harm.
Can
We just want to go about our business. And then, yeah, I'll give it over to Willoughby to actually probably talk to the bird.
Yeah, Wilby's gonna cast Speak with Animals. Hello.
Hello.
We're just passing through. Really don't want any trouble.
You're not here looking for him.
No, we're just here looking for a couple things of mine.
There's nothing left here.
Well, we figured we might as well check. It's been quite a while since I've been here.
We don't get visitors.
Is the we are talking about your friend back there?
He is. Not so much a friend, but our keeper. Begins picking up some more of the food.
Well, if you'll leave us to do what we need to do, we're heading just a bit farther down the street, and then we will leave this place. We can just be on our way.
He leans out a little bit further and looks at you again. Looks down to the bird and then back to you and then leans back in. He wants to know what your purpose here is.
We're here to collect search for some things of mine from when I lived here a long time ago.
Do you wish for vengeance to the one who did this to you?
Did all of this will be gestures to the wreckage and debris.
Twists his head around and to the side again. All of this.
In a way, I suppose, but it's really, frankly, not on the top of my priorities in the next months and years of my life, if I'm being frank.
The head kind of turns around again, glares straight to you, Willoughby. This is a place of vengeance now. You can go about your business, but only return here if you're ready. Kind of hops back once.
Okay.
Willoughby, Willoughby.
Yes.
Can you ask can you ask if he's the one that pooped on me?
Do you
Can
really
you
need
ask-
me to ask you?
Can you ask?
That is
can
not.
can you please ask?
Joe, can I do a perception check? Can I check if that's the same bird? Because I saw the bird. I saw the
It
bird
is
that
not the
pooped
same
on
bird.
project.
You,
That is not the same bird.
Okay.
Those are absolutely different birds.
Oh,
There's a
okay,
there's a
thanks.
lot of birds.
Yeah, okay.
The rest of
We
you
good,
see
Willoughby?
the air around you is getting darker. Almost like it's closing on dusk. And there's something cold in the air. Now when you breathe, you can feel the cold coming out. The bird kind of turns its head and looks back. The person's head kind of comes in again, with one eye looking at you. If you see eyes in the dark of the house that you enter, it is best to wait until nighttime when they go out to feed.
Okay.
This is now a place of vengeance. Return when you yearn for it. And it takes up and flies back towards the corner. The head disappears, and the hand, finger by finger, leaves. The shadow fades, and it turns back into that very pretty, somber and quiet ruins.
Well, that was one of the most deeply unsettling things I've experienced in my entire life.
That guy gave me the creeps, but the birds were okay.
That.
Yeah, I mean, I only heard what you were saying back, but it sounded like it was, I don't know.
Do I have
This
any
whole-
understanding of that as like from like an undead sort of perspective, or
I'll let you do a religion check.
Spooky, scary, scary.
12.
Didn't seem to be undead. Didn't seem to be a harbinger of death of any kind. Or one that you've heard of. At least it's not associated with hell. That's all you really know from that.
They
if you see eyes in the house, best to wait till night time to feed?
Yeah, I will be just gonna like look around. Like, are there windows visibly like open in any of the ruins?
Yeah.
Like
A lot of them
around
are
us?
shutter kind of based, so a lot of that's kind of been withered away over the years. So you just kind of got darkness where in the kind of houses which have got their rooftops still on them, it's just dark in them. And you can
Yeah,
look
well, he's
over
gonna like
square
while
windows.
he's walking over, he's gonna start walking over to like one of the shutters from one of the windows. And be like, they were giving me this whole rigmarole about come back when I'm ready for vengeance, and I'm just gonna push open one of the windows and see if he sees any eyes on the inside.
What a perception check.
I hate that. Okay, 19.
First, you're just looking into darkness. Just a kind of shadowed room of a house that was. You can see where their bed frame must have been, where they must have cooked their food, but the darkness in the corner where the light isn't seeping in. And even when the light seeps in, it kind of gives a kind of a blue wash into the room. You see this long, angular eye. Almost like an eye that's sideways. Open and blink. And stare at you. It shifts along the darkness a little bit, getting to the closest it can in the corner.
He slides back out of the window. There is
Anything?
something in that house. I saw the eyes.
Do we have to stay here? Should we wait till
We're
night?
quit. No, if we quick, we go in, we get what we need, and then we get
Well,
out, right?
Yeah, we just have to check if there's
Yeah.
any of that stuff in my old place, but who
What
knows?
if there is? We fight it like we do.
I've got short little legs.
Like whatever it is, we can handle it. Well,
Yes,
we've
but
got to do
what
this.
if all I'm saying is yes, we are on a time limit, so we probably should try to do this quickly. But also, what if we engage in a fight with one pack of these things in one house and all the others converge on us. Who knows? I don't know what the hell that thing was. This is not exactly what I was expecting when I came here.
Your home is scary.
Yeah. Let's figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. And hey, if we've got to run, I'll pick up Amanita and get the hell out. Like, if you've got little legs, Amanita, I'll carry you.
You can pick me up now.
Yeah, but no, you
Just
can
to
walk for now.
feel the weight.
I'm pretty sure I can get the weight. It's fine.
Are you
can
sure?
walk. Yes, you can walk for now.
Okay.
It's good for your little mushroom body to work out. And yeah.
Where the
don't
kind
know
of
how
path
you
is
work.
broken for you as well, Amanda, do you feel like... Give me a dexterity saving throw. So you just have to click on... it should be just below your... That should be
I think I did it.
You did. You keep finding that everywhere you're treading, there's like broken portions of the cobbled pathway that would be a tripping hazard. You keep managing just to quickly step around them before you trip every time. Everyone else
These
is kind of
roads
walking
are
pretty clean.
bumpy.
Well, it's not really maintained.
Yeah, last I checked, no one's been around to fix up any of these roads in a little while.
It isn't long before you walk down the old marketplace where a fountain once stood. The waters create almost like this semicircle of a waterfall that poured in, kind of poured out on itself, but now it looks more just like cracked rock. No spectacle to be had. But once there were cloth draping the once marketplace, is now just broken wood tattered to the ground. Cloth has been long stolen or worn away. And around the corner you can see a slightly damaged, but not entirely caved in, home of your former self.
Well, that's the place. Good thing it's not already gone.
You okay?
Well, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Wilby's not exactly fine. But he's gonna stay as fine as he needs to be to get what we need to get out of here.
I think Juno would move up besides Willoughby and just put a hand like on the barky shoulder kind of thing. It's okay. Take your time if you need it. Take a breath.
Thank you. I'm all right. I mean, last time I saw this place, I wasn't here as much as I probably should have been. But last time I saw this place, it looked a lot different, and it's just been, it's been a long day, I guess, is all.
Yeah, it has. A very long day. And I can't imagine what it would be like to come home to this after so long. I'm sorry that you have to do this. We just have to make the best out of this day. The best that we can. And if that's a lead to helping us help our friend, then that's a pretty good start.
I agree. Thank you.
Of course.
Wilby is gonna start approaching the house with the intent to check the interior for those eyes again.
Okay. I'll make a roll.
He's gonna.
Give me a
I'm gonna
perception
Dragon
check.
Constellation. Yeah, I'm gonna Dragon Constellation for this now because it'll also make Wilby glow out to 10 feet around him with a light.
Okay.
So that's an 18 on perception.
With an 18, you peer through. You see your old kind of kitchen area. You see the portion where you might have sat in the corner where it's almost created like this L shape. That's where the darkness is sitting. And you see about 6 or 7 of the eyes all open up and shimmer towards the side. But when you glow and it pushes them down into the darkness, you can see them will shift as far away from you as they can,
They're like avoiding the light.
avoiding the light.
I think that more so than that, what Willoughby notices when he looks in there is, I think he notices that the interior of this house is not his old house. This is not his, like, people have lived and died here, you know, generation and generation. He's like, he barely even notices the eyes. Like he almost more subconsciously was looking to see how much this place still looked like his old place.
It's weird how strange so long has gone by. But because of the architecture of the time and focusing more on stonework and more on kind of clay and hardened materials over wood, a lot of it remained intact. Some of the frost has caved in a corner. And it doesn't look entirely the same in terms of the stone has withered. And any patterns or artwork you might have had, whether it be kind of embedded into stone or... that's faded. But this is still your home. You see the staircase that would lead down, the kind of trapdoor staircase that leads down to the basement.
Well, I did see eyes, but they seem to be avoiding light.
Okay.
So maybe we light some torches and...
Yeah, I've got some torches. I can carry a torch. I mean,
I
you're
light
glowing
my
anyway.
torch with fake fire.
Amanita, can you see in the dark, or do you need light to see?
Oh, I can see all the time, pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, except for when I do this.
Yep.
But other times, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well,
I have
will.
excellent vision.
Okay. We'll keep some torches lit just
Really
to kind of keep
good.
these shadows at bay. Go on. Really, really good.
I said
vision.
it's
Yep.
very good.
Yep. We got you. It's good. You're great. We love
Thank you. Aw.
And yeah, Juno will light a torch.
Okay.
And with Eldred as well, just to give us as much like light as a group as we can before we head down. Because also I don't need a hand for, I can have a hand free all the time. So
The doorway is open. The door's completely gone. The hinge is probably still there and kind of creaking with a slight bit of the wood still there, kind of crackled and mostly just detached. You can enter into the building through that. Your light emanating outwards, pushing back any of the eyes in the corner to get as far away from you as they can.
Well,
And can we all see the eyes?
Definitely
Okay.
once you start entering, yeah.
Ooh.
They're like long, pale eyes with this kind of almost like yellow slit, almost like a cat.
Let's get out of here as quickly as possible.
well, yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully what we need is in the basement. If it's not, we're in a little bit of trouble.
I mean, could you try that spell, that locate object spell that sometimes you've used? Would that work?
I could. That would work as well. I've also, I mean,
Let's try
be
searching
honest.
first, but
between you and me, I don't know if you remembered how upset I got at that Cyclops for divulging all of his scholarly information so readily.
Mhm.
I've got like 6 different spots in this house where I just hid a little bit of stuff in like the floorboards and beneath rocks and things. I don't remember what's in each one of those, but any one of those could have something that could help us here.
sure. No, let's search through. Just go
But-
by what you remember and check all the spots that you can.
Basement first. I think basement's the one where I would have kept the good stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'll keep a watch out on these eyes. You focus on finding the stuff. Eldred, I mean, can you get a sense of if these eyes are undead or spirits or anything like that? Or
Yeah, do the eyes give me spirit vibes?
Give me a straight wisdom check. Give me a spellcasting modifier check.
Natural 20 plus 5.
Damn.
They definitely feel as if They are not necessarily spirits, but some sort of undead creature. Something of darkness, something of shadow.
Yeah, does feel like some sort of undead shadow darkness situation creature.
Okay. Well, if me and Eldridge keep a watch on these eyes, Amanita, Lena, you help Willoughby, trying to speed up the search as best as we can. We get out as soon as we find what we need.
Okay, let's do it.
Break.
Yeah.
You stay on the
Yes.
top side. The trapdoor is open.
Before they go down, Willoughby would grab Lena and Amanita and detail. So while we're down there, while you're searching around, look for anything that has the initials EB. All right, I always initialed everything. That's how you'd find it. Anything else that's not involving me, I always put my initials on everything. If it doesn't have the, you know what an E and a B is, right? He looks to-
Juno will sketch out an E and a
I'll
B
just-
on like a piece of
Yeah.
parchment and show it to Amanita. This. We need to teach. Yeah. It's writing. we
Lena
need
just
to
nods.
communicate.
Looking for that.
See? Okay.
I'm not exactly optimistic we're gonna find anything out in the open of mine. Not like anyone here nowadays would have known the value of it, but who knows?
Heading down into the basement. The stairs loud these kind of hollow sound as you step down them. It's only a small room. And the portions of wood in here have definitely kind of withstood a lot more of the withering of time. But it does seem cluttered. Like everything's collapsed. If there was anything on the walls, it's fallen to the ground. I imagine you kept a lot of your things encased and protected, though.
Yeah.
What are you specifically looking for?
I think that Willoughby right now specifically is looking for the most important, like the thing he died working on was his mapping of Yggdrasil's off the grid routes, like the ones that people weren't supposed to use commonly. So
Okay.
this was like a an incomplete manuscript of like his work. So it wouldn't have been something that was out in the open. It would have been hidden under something or behind something or like in a brick that comes out of the wall or something like that. It would have been something more carefully hidden.
Give me a perception check with advantage and an investigation check with advantage. The advantage is there for both the fact it's your place and also Lena's helping. And Manatee, you can also do a perception check, straight up perception check and
So nat 20.
investigation check. Oh, very nice. I can also get an
Very nice.
investigation check with advantage.
19 on the investigation.
The nat 20 for the perception. The 19, you start to look around. It quickens the amount of time you spend down here as you both kind of working through it. You realize that, like you said, none of the obvious portions of where the maps would be kept, or any of the notes would be kept, would contain anything like this. And then you can see on the wall, there's 4 bricks, which are kind of out of pattern. And pulling one of them in the center away, you see there's nothing behind it. But then one of the other bricks just opens very slightly. A very slight hatch on the bottom. You can see this brick is hollow. When your eyes gaze up to it, and memory floods back to you of this little hidden compartment in it, your eyes glance to the ceiling. And the darkness up against the ceiling is one much longer eye, just staring straight down at you. Being pushed back and suppressed by the light.
Just here to get by things. Willoughby's gonna slowly start taking the brick out of the wall to get the compartment revealed so he can pull out his papers.
You see it's kind of got a lock, but it's rusted over time. easily broken. And breaking past that, you'd see within encased in this kind of old but strong wood. I imagine, knowing that you'd want to keep these things kept pretty well, it'd probably be of the bark of something from Alfheim or even from the ironwood. And so it's withstood the test of time. You can see it's got a blanket of dust on it. And some things have tried to gnaw at the edges, but nothing's broken through. You take out your map, unclasp it, and on the inside you can see, very similar to the map that you are currently looking at, but this one's kind of paper thin, and it's almost like a mesh. And you realize that you could lay it on a map, and it has all these different routes that lead different places. Like a webbing that could be laid across the map of Midgard, of hidden entrances and secret tunnels. Very fine paper that feels almost impossible to rip, like spider's silk.
Wilby looks back to the others. Got what we came for. Let's leave.
Out we go.
Yep. I'll probably have, if Eldred goes at the back, Juno would go at the front, and we keep everyone else between us. So we have a torch at either end, basically.
Okay. You would leave, the eyes following you all the way out, and stopping as you leave your old home.
Oh. Well, good news is no one over the course of centuries ever found it. Imagine that.
And we can get out of here.
I'm glad it was still there for you, Willoughby.
Yeah, it's, well, I didn't exactly make it very accessible to anyone after me to find. In the grand scheme, kind of a mean-spirited move, but it was my work. God damn it.
And I am very much aware now of how protective of your works you are, but I also agree with Amanita. It's also time to get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to stay here another second. Honestly, I prefer to never come back here for the rest of my life. Shall we?
Yes.
Leaving.
Yes.
Heading out of the ruins, back into the main road and passing your way over into the hills. Leaving your old home behind. But now, with something that looks so simple to achieve, in terms of all you had to do was come here. But that kind of barrier between you and your past self stopping you. You can plant this over a map and see your old life's work. What this will translate to, in game mechanics, is a system similar to teleport.
Mm-hmm.
If you find the right portions of the map and work out exactly where you need to go, you can travel through the routes. Because this can be traveled through several times, and the limitations come from the fact you have to find the entrance of the one that you want to travel. You can take a different route from wherever, but the chances, similar to teleport, become much more dangerous the further away you are from the original kind of sourced route. And the dangers in this, as opposed to teleport, at least for a while, are a lot more damning.
Sounds about right.
Fall into lava, burn alive.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming maybe
we'll
some
be as a
monsters or-
character is kind of an example of how bad it could be. So,
But as you head up
Okay.
into the hills and plan your next step to go and find Frey, we're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
So you can kind of
boy,
stretch
I
your
need
legs.
that.
Good, yeah. I was going to say,
I'll
like,
be
we'd probably
back.
find somewhere to take a quick
Mhm.
short rest or short break, figure out where we're going, figure out where this point is, and then, yeah.
Okay, we'll come back in 5 minutes and we'll work out how you get to Frey's.
Yay!
We're back. All right, chat, I'm back. I'll unmute in just one moment. I'll give them a minute head start. Thanks everyone who came out today. I know it's a quieter session because we are 2 down. Okay, let me bring things down here.
There's a couple of jokes. Oh, hello. He's back.
Hello.
I'm sorry I ruined your couple of jokes.
No, I was just gonna say there's a couple of jokes in the D&D movie that I think that like I know when we went to see it, Joe. Like I don't know about you, but like there was one joke in particular that I felt every DM in the screening that was in it when I was in it, we all laughed at the same joke a lot harder than everyone else.
I think, is it bridge related?
Yep. It was like the DMs were like,
yeah,
it's so true. It was like one of those kind of jokes. Like, it was very good.
We won't spoil it for anyone. Isn't it? It's out now, isn't it, to watch?
It's like, it's on streaming.
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah.
I think it's available on digital.
Seems like about that time.
Yeah. Next week we'll spoil it. Okay, we're not going. So, coming back into things. You've just slipped away from the town. Haven't got the access to your kind of tracing map. You find yourselves in the kind of the low-end hills up by the mountain range that surrounds your home. What would you like to do?
Well, this will be like consulting it, like recollecting everything from it, and kind of layering it over their current map that he has, and looking for the closest way he can find to Alfheim from that.
You have. Give me like. Actually, no, I'm not gonna make you do a test. Sorry, a roll for it because it's technically you have the map there now. What I will tell you this: there will be 3 close-ish locations. You can kind of go down and for your eyes toward the border, which would take probably a good day and a half, couple days. And you can pretty much guarantee you'll get into Alfheim easily. You can go from maybe 200 feet from where you are right now. It's a little risky. It's not high risk. And then there's a much less risky one between the 2 points, beneath a mountain.
Oh, yes. I do remember the one that's right over there. Because that's the thing is, I honestly just need to get a hold of the map. It's been forever since I've seen like the original product.
Centuries, right? If it's going to be a while, you can't remember everywhere.
It has been a long time, and I mean, I haven't had a good me time really to write down or try to recollect it, even write it all back down again. So this was the whole deal. This was my whole project. This is what I died for.
I mean, it's amazing.
So this is a map.
This is a map. It's notated with miles and kilometers as well here. No bundles, though.
Okay. The letters E, B. I'm just kind of like looking for them.
Bottom
Are they-
left.
Yeah.
Yep.
What does it say on the
Yep.
bottom? Is it just the initials, or does it have your name on it?
I think that there's an EB on the bottom of everything, and it looks almost like a stamp more so than it does actual handwritten. And then at the top in big notation is Erlant Branson.
Erlant?
Erlant. Yeah.
Erlant Branson.
E.B.
Erland
Willoughby.
Branson.
Yep. That was my name when I was a human, when I was alive.
Why did it change?
Well, I figured that I didn't really... Well, I wasn't really myself once I had died. I was a Christier. I felt like it was time to change the name and just accept that I wasn't them anymore.
You still feel like you aren't Erland?
I'm kind of coming back around to it a little. But if it makes you all more comfortable, we can keep it Willoughby.
Willoughby, it's what you want.
Yeah,
It's not what we find comfortable. It's what you would like.
We
and
may
what
slip
is-
up out of habit, but it's not a comfort level for
Yes,
us.
exactly. You are who you want to be. You tell us.
Let's go with Willoughby because plenty of gods and other people know me as Willoughby. It's going to be a whole thing if we have to recover this 1,000 times. But
If it
all
ever
of you know.
changes.
And if you see my name on any maps or in any credits for any maps, know this because I was one of the best. All right?
Have I ever heard of Erland Bredson, the cartographer?
Roll a history check.
Yeah, can I see if there would have been copies of his work
7.
in the academia as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
18 for me.
With a 7, no. But also understandable to never really read the name of a cartographer and skim over that bit. For you, Juno, 18, not a single mention.
Okay, she doesn't say that. I say nothing.
I think there's a part of Willoughby that even, as boastful as he is about his career, is keenly aware of the fact that he is centuries old and is old news in the grand scheme of the industry, the job he had, and he's been gone for eons in the grand scheme of things. So he doesn't
expect it.
He doesn't expect people to be like, "That's fucking Erland, dude. I know him."
Love those maps, man.
Dude makes the best maps, the best maps. I mean, you can see the quality of your work is present in this.
That's right. I
What
like
is this
this
even
overlay
made of?
thing.
Yeah,
It's
what is
cool.
this?
It was honestly built to last was the main thing because I had no idea. It's really hard to write these things down. This was a whole process. This took me a decade to do. But frankly, I'm probably going to tear it up and switch it over to the new format, and Willoughby will pull out his star map system that he uses now for the routes that he started making a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that is...
Maybe not right away, but I don't really think I want it to be on that old thing anymore.
Well, in terms of where we go next, I mean, I know that there's great risks, so we could go for this route that's in the middle. Slightly riskier, but I mean, we don't have a day and a half, 2 days to get all the way down to near Alfheim. We just don't have that time. I'm personally okay with the riskiest route, but I mean, that may be from ignorance of not knowing how bad it could be.
Well, I'll say it like this as a person who has literally entered many of these routes and traversed them myself. I am made out of wood now. I am made out of wood now because I fell into a pit of lava. However, that route was not the one that killed me.
I did not know that.
Welcome
About
to the team,
you.
Amanita. It was actually one of the very first things that we learned about Willoughby because we grilled them
was
about
a
who
session
they were.
1 workshop.
We grilled them about who they were and their backstory, and then we found out.
Yeah.
It was like an interrogation.
Wow. Did you like being a human, or do you like being a plant more?
Did you know that when you die and you're reborn as a Kavisier, you still feel like you have to go to the bathroom to the exact same amount you did when you perished? So no, I don't
think Amanita knows what that feels like.
I don't know how to talk to them sometimes.
But we're so similar.
but yet so different.
Ah, yeah.
Hmm.
Similar in body composition in some way, but perhaps not in how you see the world and experience the world.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just gonna like look over the maps and kind of like gesture as if I know how
point
to.
randomly.
Just yeah. Uh-huh.
When
Yeah.
when
Good
we have
plan.
some more time, Amanita, if you'd like, if we have some more time after we do this business, when we have a bit more time, would you like to learn how to read or read the writings, read writings and things like that?
Yeah.
can
I'm
teach you.
already getting pretty good at it.
Oh, good. You seem a quick
I know
learner.
that EB means Willoughby.
Yup.
Pretty good. Yeah,
We'll have a
I'm
few
a
lessons
very
when
fast
we've dealt with
learner.
all of this. We'll do a few lessons.
Okay.
So are we taking a little bit of a walk to the middle one, or are we taking the one that essentially we can see if we squint our eyes?
I mean, I'm up for taking the closest one, but
I'm more inclined to take the middle one. Because also if we run out of time, I can prepare something.
that's true. That's true. What's your
I think
feeling,
Willoughby is leaning towards the safer of the two because he died. because he has died doing this. I think old Willoughby, when he was a human, would have taken the nearest one because he'd be so confident.
I have a feeling
now-
Lena would go for that one as well. I have a feeling that that's the one Lena would pick. So yeah, okay. All right. Well, that sounds like that's the one that will be easiest to take.
Okay. It's gonna take.
How old are you, Amanita? Oh, we don't know. You can't tell us. Never mind.
Oh, well, I told you.
Some
Well, also,
number
yeah,
of
Amanita
bundles.
remember Amanita is Amanita. Is not just Amanita.
Thousands of sticks.
Mhm.
Right.
Thousands upon thousands.
Okay.
Which is less bundles
Uh-huh.
of sticks.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Reality is perception.
So how far away is the middle one?
Yeah, probably about a day. It's gonna be asleep and then early the next morning.
Should
Boy,
we?
I don't know why I thought that the middle one was like 6 hours or like half a day's
No, because
trip.
the other one's 2 days. So it's the midway point.
So
Should
this
we
would be
do something about
barely a day.
Draven's body?
Yeah.
Can we be like on the lookout for like
A cave or
Cavey.
something.
Oh, there'd
Mountainy
be
kind of-
loads of small caves around, so you could be able to find whatever adequate one you want from. Yeah.
So we all, in that case, are we all in agreement that we want to spend a day traveling to this one? Because I'm okay to do that, or we can spend some time making sure that Draven is buried properly, and then take the shorter trip. That's a little bit more dangerous. Is kind of like what I'm imagining right now.
right.
Danger. I
would be
danger
nervous
'cause
about
danger is
accident.
Fun.
Ooh.
I think if anyone was
Fun.
to, in
Very
character, I
off
think
character.
Willoughby is like going to be a little bit concerned about taking the most dangerous route, but wouldn't be like opposed to it if like confronted. I think he'd just be a little bit hesitant.
I am happy to go with the faster route. I mean, I think between Lena and I, we could carry Draven a little bit, but I mean, we need to deal with the body soon. But I mean, maybe if there's if we have an evening's rest, perhaps Eldred, I don't know if you can prepare something to in the morning, perhaps.
I mean, I've prepared funeral pyres. I don't.
Do you have anything
don't
that
know
can
much about
preserve a body
tombs.
for some
No,
time?
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, the thing with Mesogai is they like being entombed in stone, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I think and not just Mesogai. I think that Draven is from a bit further away than that. But yes, I think that a stone tomb buried with their belongings. That is.
If it's as
what
simple
we
as
can
a
do.
stone tomb, and we're going to take a rest afterwards, and then take the shorter path, in that case, I can make something, I suppose.
That would be nice. But
Okay.
I also appreciate that if you want to take the safer route, then we could do something faster.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that like if Wilby's gonna make like I have stone shape, to be clear. So like Wilby can make a actual like tomb kind of for
Like a
Draven
sarcophagus,
here,
basically.
but I don't want to burn 2 4-level spell slots if we're about to go
It's-
into like a
it's-
dangerous scenario.
It's going to take us a whole day to get there anyway. So once we're almost there, I think we rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Or halfway there, you know, as the
Mhm.
sun sets.
Sure. Okay. Let's
I
do
am
that.
I am in agreement that I think the safer route is better than
Okay.
the more dangerous options.
Let's do that.
Okay. So you're going to bring the body with you to the resting
Yeah.
point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, traveling south for the rest of the day, you'd find yourselves getting close to the kind of the midway point, following your map.
Can you just mark on the map roughly where that's going to be, like where
Yeah.
we're going to rest? Because I want to mark where Draven's tomb is.
Good idea. I would say the midway point for you guys would be about. This is where the kind of route would be. So probably be about here. Just maybe just next to the mountain. Yep.
So do like here. Cool. Thank you.
You get to this portion which is underneath a great tall mountain that kind of stands alone in the middle of fields around it. You're away from the snow now as you start to kind of pass back towards the south, and where the trees grow taller and the grass grows thicker. And your legs are weary from walking, and especially Juno and Elena, who've been carrying back and forth. And you find a spot beneath the mountain that embeds itself into the wall. It has trees that kind of drape over, almost willow trees that almost kiss the top with their leaves coming down. The perfect place to bury a warrior. What would you like to do?
This place is as good as any then, right?
Perfect.
If you can create a sort of sarcophagus, a tomb, something to lay the body in that can be sealed with stone, and then make sure that we bury them with their riches. And like Juno will help like clear it, like any physical kind of labor. Juno's happy to do, like using her like monk physique and constitution to like help clear stuff away and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, Willoughby will cast stone shape and start to craft a sort of sarcophagus for Draven.
I want to take a moment to come up to Eldred. Eldred, I didn't ask you this before because I wasn't ready, but I think I'm ready to hear it now. Draven gave you a letter, right?
Yes.
What did he write to me? What was the part about, like, to me that he wrote? Because
It
we were
was-
quite close.
It
And-
was a letter for only me. But
That
some of it was
had-
about us as a whole.
Okay. You don't want anyone else to be. I won't tell them. Like, I won't. You don't want anyone to be jealous about the special relationship that I had with Draven. So, what did he say about the group?
It's complicated. He's,
Yeah.
it was mostly about the gods, really, and our relationship to the
About
gods.
him being a god and how we had such a great relationship, even though I'm not a god. Thank you. Thank you. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone about.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right, I'm gonna attend to anything I can do to help with this process of getting Draven's body prepared.
Yeah. If you're building this kind of little stone tomb.
Yeah, I think Wilby's going to make a tomb. He's going to put on the top of it, like, because usually sarcophaguses and stuff like that, they have like some form of decoration on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to put a sun and a moon on it. It's never something that was talked about, but it was something that Wilby saw in Draven's eyes when, like, they had encountered one another. He doesn't have much else to go off of, so he's just kind of winging it with any kind of decoration he can put that might make this more honorable.
Juno might, because like she read up a bit about like the process, like maybe like recommend to Willoughby that it has like almost Draven's visage like on the sarcophagus kind of thing, and then like has like symbols of moon and sun decoration and stuff like that.
Willoughby will take any help he can get because he is not very good at
creating
stuff. So.
I think the only other thing Juno want to do, apart from like helping Willoughby with that, is maybe go pick some like wildflowers to make a wreath, like a very simple crown like wreath, which is a Mesogeian tradition for the dead, and maybe just put gold in his palm, like a gold coin in his palm, two gold coins. And I think that as she just takes a moment, sort of like helps Lena like rest the body in the sarcophagus, we'll sort of put the wreath around Draven's head, put the coins in his hand, and say, wherever you end up, if you have to pay Charon, here's the coins. And I have no crown, but from what I understand, you were more than you told us, and there was something truly kingly about you. And just puts the wreath. Goodbye, Draven.
I'm going to set one of my a 300 gold piece diamond in his belongings. I would have gladly spent this to bring you back, so you can have it wherever you end up.
I'm gonna walk up to Draven, and I notice everyone's kind of like giving some coins. So I pull out the coin that Juno gave to me. That was the entry coin for the battle. And I'm going to give it to Draven and say, this one was my favorite. You were my favorite. Usually I grow on things, but you grew on me. And I think that you would laugh at that. And I'm practicing humor. And I wish you were here.
We'll walk up. That job you gave me is going to be a lot harder for me to do with you gone. So, ideally, we're going to help you out, and you're going to wake up in that nice sarcophagus I made you at some point, and hopefully you'll be able to push it back open, and we'll find you again. But otherwise, I did put a lot of effort into this, and I don't have very much money to give you. So, they haven't. You're a good friend. I'm sorry this played out this way.
We can ask what Lena does when she's next with us, but each of you give your gifts and say your goodbyes. Lay Draven to rest. The trees around, within only the first hour of his enclosed tomb, keeping his body at rest. You can see the 2 willow trees that hang over it begin to glimmer and let off a soft silver that slowly transforms into the gold that you saw in the trimmings of his armor. And the leaves slowly fade up into them. And the trees that hang over him now almost match the very spirit and visage of the once warrior Draven. Your rest this night will be soundless, peaceful. The grove doesn't have magic, but there are none who would disturb your morning. When you wake, though, the dawn and its warmth after spending just a few short, probably just under a week up in the cold. A kind of reminder of warmth from the sun wakes each of you up, and you realize that you've spent a day so far. You don't have time to spend much more.
That evening that we were resting, I think Wilby would have spent some time following up on what he said he was going to do and transcribing his work from the old map onto his star map.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can spend some time over the night transcribing onto it. It's almost a different pattern, but it can always be laid on top of it and traced around. It'll be a few more hours to get down to the route that leads into Alfheim. You'll get there by late morning.
All right.
All right. I'm good to go. Everyone good?
So am I.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading out, spending those next few hours. The road is quiet and somewhat less frequented once you kind of get off of the main road and the kind of trade pathway between Berka and Svepe, which wasn't already a very popular route anyway. Most people stay in the north, most people stay in the south, rarely traveling between. A couple of merchants here and there, but you go off-road, walking through tall grass and old homesteads which have been abandoned, until you arrive. And Willoughby, you'd recognize by your map and following it, flowers almost create this swirling pattern, like curly hair that kind of weaves out into the grass. And you can follow this. Each of the flowers leading up to an embedded, almost cave. This doesn't look like a stone cave. It's a series of branches that are kind of breaking outward. And all manner of colors just growing around it. It seems like a tight squeeze to get in. But this is one of the many secret pathways into Yggdrasil. For someone who's not used to frequenting this looks like it's a tree that's pushed and forced its roots through the stone. As remarkable as that is. But for you, you know the signs.
That's it right there. Now, before we go any closer, and before we go in, I need all of you to understand a couple of rules. No traveling off of the path. If I tell you to do something, you do it. If I tell you not to do something, you don't do that thing. Okay?
Okay.
This is a complicated process. I thought we just are there.
In a lot of cases, maps are meant to tell you where things are. In this case, my map is also meant to tell you how to not die in the process of following it.
Maps teach you not to die. Got it. Am I going to turn into a human?
No.
Okay.
might turn into like ash or something, depending. Or like
Ashes.
devoured by horrible creatures in a plane that you are not familiar with. But for the most part, it is safe-ish. But it gets a lot less safe if you just run off and scamper around willy-nilly with no understanding of where you are.
We get it, Willoughby. We'll be careful and we'll listen to what you tell us.
All right. Onwards then. Willoughby like changes tune and mood immediately and starts walking towards the room.
You're gonna need to lead the way, so Juno will just sort of like encourage Willoughby to take the front. Be at the front of the pack with tomato.
Would slip down into the roots. And the roots look like straws that can be woven around, almost like this long kind of straw basket of roots that wrap around you. Some brown, white, black twigs or branches, more realistically. And tunnels upon tunnels. There's some, as you slip through, that look as if they're too thin to kind of weave your way into, but some of them seem to go off in all sorts of different pathways. It's like a labyrinth of hundreds of different tunnels of these wooden, woven pathways. You'd follow it through, following your path where you've mapped it, using the turnings to mark your way, knowing that you have to do X amount of lefts and rights, and when to turn off and move your path. Alfheim is connected off, away from Midgard. And there is a moment where, when you're traveling, you haven't felt this feeling in a long time. And no one else would have felt it. But it is the feeling of being between worlds. That moment of stepping away from Midgard, you suddenly realize your hunger has disappeared. Your thirst. You feel calmer. There's no longer a need to breathe in the in-between. It's almost as if your steps are floating. And you continue following your pathway as these roots hang in the middle of nowhere. Because this is a safer option, could you please roll a D1000 for me?
1,000.
This will...
I've never had a DM say that before.
This is for everyone, except for Amanita. Could you also roll one and take the lower number?
Oh, all
Are
of
you
us.
kidding me?
Just Amanita.
Oh.
Willoughby's one will
Willoughby?
cover you guys.
777.
That's
Oh my God.
wild.
777, baby. Jackpot. Ding, 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 ding,
That's
ding.
jackpot.
A
That's a
million
very
gold.
big jackpot. You to do that, by the way, Tracy, because it won't be there. You want to
Yeah.
do /roll space
Okay.
D and then 1000. /roll space D 1000.
I'll put it in Discord as well.
Alright.
Ah, you got it.
I did it.
There's a couple of times you
43.
find what you learn quickly, each of you, when you follow Willoughby's steps. How would one so easily fall into lava when you're the one stepping forward and creating your own path? But you would start to see as the roots continuously merge and change, creating new roads. But some of them remain stagnant. Some of them remain idle. It's those ones that Willoughby's map allows them to focus on, ignoring any of the ones which change and weave. For a moment, Amanita, you try and do a shortcut, go through one, and it weaves off, but you step back and go back onto the road. Following Willoughby's one, because of the lucky number, you definitely shave off some time. You found like kind of almost the downhill sections, which feel like you're going a lot faster. Your feet rushing down, like running down a slide for a moment, but keeping your balance the entire time. It's like nothing is forcing you back and forth. And then eventually you all get hit by that familiar warmth of Alfheim. You realize as you're passing into the connections of that and going through the roots of that way. Could you give me with advantage, a d20 roll? The higher on this roll, the more choice you get in where you get to appear.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll a flat strength check because I have no modifiers. 18.
Okay. With an 18, you get pretty big leeway. Is there anywhere you would like to end up in Alfheim? I'll put the Alfheim map on for you guys. And that 20 will get you exactly where you want to be, in like to the absolute step. And that one would put you anywhere random on here. So an 18 puts you pretty much within 100 feet of where you want to go.
Damn.
We don't know like where Frey is supposed to hang out in Alfheim, right?
I mean, even the Valkyrie said that he does wander around. We just know that Alfheim is his realm, right? Frey considers Alfheim to be their
And that
space.
People
and Boulder,
here might know.
Yeah, Boulder or
Where
other
Yeah.
people may know.
That's like why I think like going towards where Balder was might
Yeah.
still. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, he might
Right, like
still
it hasn't.
be there.
It's only been a couple weeks, right? So there's still a chance Balder's there.
If not,
so I
other people might be
feel-
that we can ask. And
Yeah, we know the most people near Ale that we could call upon like a favor of like, hey, help us. We need to find Frey.
Yeah. Hey, we
Mhm.
So I
you remember
think
that,
landing
that
near Ale
encroaching
smoked.
darkness that we prevented? Yeah, help us find Frey.
You find yourself appearing out of a portion of the great tree that Ale was built upon. Maybe 30 feet up into the air. With a short kind of descent down if you climb down the twigs. But you find yourself almost like
Juno
this
jumps down.
canopy. Yeah, you go land on your feet. One of the elves turns around near you, looks at you, one of the light elves. Her kind of butterfly wings go out defensively. And she kind of spins around and goes, where did you come from?
You know, around. We're just.
Oh, you know.
Yep.
Roll a deception check.
Is that me or Willoughby?
You.
Oh, okay.
Was Willoughby close enough? Because if Willoughby said, "Oh, you know," I feel like that's some kind of disadvantage added to that.
I mean, to be honest, I got as good at nearly as good a charisma as you.
I'll let you
I
do a
got
straight
0.
one because
Oh, okay, nice. Well, 18. Juno's like,
I was going to say because you can't really have come from anywhere. Like it's not really like you're trying to create an elaborate lie. They're not expecting anything more than
we came from around.
when I try to stay on the path. It's dangerous down here.
Yep. Will do.
Are you heading up?
yeah.
Yeah, like get our bearings. Like, you know, how far? We're only like we're pretty close to where Boulder was, right?
He was up in Ale, yeah.
Yes, we're going up. Yes.
Yes, we're heading up, and also we were wondering. We've heard things. We wanted to ask someone around. Is Balder still up there?
Not up there in particular, but he's in that tree over there. And she points over towards this kind of much thinner tree that goes really tall into the sky. It has this kind of long, almost like a rope ladder that goes to the ground. That seems to almost drop for like 400 feet.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You are to speak to Boulder.
Yes, he knows us.
Yeah.
He's expecting us.
Very well. Then you can make the ascent. It is quite
Okay.
safe.
All right,
She
well,
turns
thank
to
you.
kind of continue guarding the offshoot road that heads towards the elevator. How's everyone else getting down? You just gonna climb down?
Yeah.
Give me an athletics check.
Great. Okay.
Can we
I
like
suppose
prepare?
since I kind of like was assuming I was in the conversation since I spoke in it without
me one
really
as well, yeah.
establishing how I got down. Yeah, I'd like to do an athletics. See if I fucking slam down hard here.
7.
11.
All right. Do I need to do one too?
Yes, please.
All right. You got it.
With disadvantage for you.
Oh.
Eldred.
Wait, disadvantage?
Oh, did
For,
we?
for Amantha.
How do I do
For
it with
why?
disadvantage?
If you just roll it again and take the lowest one.
Did we technically
okay.
long rest during this travel? I need to
We
check.
did, because we long rested at the tomb.
Okay.
Are you exhausted? Wow.
It's that boon.
You-
Got
Why is it
13.
disadvantage?
You find when you're climbing down Amantha, like a lot of the twigs just suddenly start breaking around you, and you keep climbing around them, and just stay afoot. It's 17 roll, will it be?
Oh no, that was me rolling for my cosmic omen. My roll for athletics was an 11.
If you've rolled under a 12, could you please roll an acrobatics check for me, please?
Oh,
with Eldred.
Eldred.
That's a 5.
Oh, Eldred.
Eldred, it breaks, and you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as you land you back with a kind of slump. You can hear the twigs break beneath you.
God.
Did you also fall, Willoughby?
I think if Willoughby was gonna fall, he'd wild shape.
Okay.
To avoid, like instinctively, even if it's a waste of a use, he'd wild shape.
You
instead
turn
of fall.
into, I assume, a flying creature. Eldred, you hit the ground hard. The elf turns. Where did you come from?
Around, you know.
They're with me. They're with me. They're my friends. Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Willoughby turns back into a crossbeam in front of them.
Just
Fine. It's fine. Friends of Baldur.
stay
Don't
to the
worry
road.
about it. Yeah.
She kind of shakes her head, confused.
Eldred, are you okay? We really
Yeah, are
need to
you
get you
alright?
some sort of climbing tools or something.
Yep.
I'm not
Yeah,
good
not
at it.
Not all of the routes exactly drop you off in comfortable locations. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I probably should have warned you.
And not everyone is as nimble as me. Are you doing okay?
I'm fine. At least it wasn't lava.
That's a very good point.
True.
I'm glad to have
True.
landed on hard ground.
Okay, so the light elf said that we need to go up that big, tall, thin tree up that rope ladder. So we need to climb up there.
Right, and that's plenty of time for us to also discuss how much we actually want to tell Baldur. Because we can't, I don't know if we tell them everything. In
No?
this case, do we?
No? I mean, Baldur seemed... I mean, I'll be honest, out of all of the beings we've met, Baldur seemed pretty... alright.
I know, but I just don't know if I want to get them caught up in all of this.
Frey's not exactly... They're not on good terms with Frey, and they might even be able to help us. If we can tell them what we're planning, they might even be able to help us free this other god, and they may be able to help us. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll leave it to the group, but I mean, I out of all of the people, I think that even if we told him the truth, I don't think he would get in our way.
Oh,
unless
no,
he thought...
I do trust, to be clear, I do trust Baldur. I
Mm.
do believe they are a very good person. My position is simply one of, I don't know if I want to involve them in this, because it will complicate things for them if they are involved, truly with all of the information we have.
Well, I guess maybe we can give them that decision. Say, we want to meet with Frey. Do you know where they are? And if he asks, or if they ask, we can just say, look, I mean, we can tell you, but it might make things complicated for you. And then see what they think. Let them make that choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Just wanted to check in
Baldur
beforehand.
seems... Yeah,
so we're
no,
all
it's
on the
good to
same
check in. Yeah, absolutely. And I think Baldur trusts you as well, Willoughby. So I think that if we say, hey, we'll tell you if you want to know, but it might make things complicated for you. Otherwise, we're happy to just get on with it. Like, I think that will hopefully mean something, and they'll trust us as well. Okay.
All right.
Well, Amanita, let's go. You get to meet your second god.
This is exciting. I'm
Don't
ready.
ask them for boons. Like, honestly, to be honest, of the ones that if you asked may give you one, it
Why
be
would
Baldur,
I
but
not ask for a
do
boon?
not.
I
Amina,
got
I am
this.
begging you,
I got
please.
to eat something, and everything that I have has given me a lot of power. Are you?
Well, you
wait,
know,
are you
it might
jealous
be.
of all of the power that I
No,
have now?
a matter of fact, what I was going to say is all I ask is that you do not embarrass me by immediately asking a god I would consider to be a good friend of mine for strength and power within about 2 minutes of meeting them, if that's something you can manage.
Wait, what about me? Like, is it because we're friends?
I'm not jealous of any part of our entire dynamic at all.
You know, because if we were
To
friends,
be clear,
then I
that's
wouldn't.
never been part of this.
If we were friends, I wouldn't ask for a boon, and I would do that as like a boon for you, like a friend boon, like a boon of friendship. If you think that we're friends.
You are like addicted to boons. I don't. You only have that one thing on your shoulder, and all of a sudden you just.
I also ate a
What do you
heart.
talk about? You got a
But
little
I
boon
won't-
and then a
I
bird
won't-
pooped on you.
Speaking of that thing on your
I'm
shoulder,
so lucky.
that thing on your shoulder, it might be a good. Baldur might be a good person to ask. What does
Oh.
this do? Like,
Okay.
he might be able to tell you more about it.
But I want
We
to settle
don't
this
know.
with Willoughby. Willoughby, I
Sure.
will not ask for a boon if you tell me that we are friends.
Sure, we're friends.
Okay, I won't ask.
Amanita
Well,
will
usually
remember this.
usually there's some kind of like roll that happens after that where the player's like, does he fucking mean it? You just took it.
I don't want to know the truth. I cannot handle the
Deceive
truth.
ourselves.
I just need a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
I think we're friends too, Willoughby.
We are friends. Do not ask Baldur for any boons.
For the
Anyways.
processing.
Okay,
Okay.
I won't.
Does anyone need help getting up this ladder?
Oh,
It's just a
how-
ladder, right? I
I
mean,
think maybe I can. I'll
I
be
should be
okay.
able to handle a ladder.
I hope. Okay. Well, I'll go underneath you, Eldred, in case you have any
Okay.
trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be from now on, Joe.
Mhm.
Can we just have it as a rule that when Eldred has to climb something, Juno climbs next to Eldred?
Yeah,
and
that's
is
fine with
like
me.
Been
ready
very
to try and
clumsy.
grab her.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think Eldred has made a single successful climbing
Yeah.
roll of any kind. in our
Even with
journey.
enhanced ability.
I mean, but
Yeah.
like this is a ladder, you know? Like this is
I'll
like,
I'll
I
interrupt you
still
guys
like-
to let you know
listen.
there'll be no rolls for climbing the ladder. You're okay with the ladder.
like imagine climbing a ladder in real life and having to take life or death fucking checks every little bit to see if you fall to your
Technically, it
death.
has a DC of 5, so it is possible.
Yeah. Are you ascending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You can see where the ladder is tied to other trees as you go up to keep it from blowing in the wind too much. It's a little awkward, it twists a little bit, but you manage to climb your way up it. It's a few hundred feet
Huh.
into the sky. It's not as convenient as the elevator. It's a tiring climb. Thickened kind of steps and rings of the ladder, so you can kind of take these almost breaks where you can wrap yourself around and take a breather and continue going. And by the time you get to the top, you see it's a kind of you get through the trees and you're pushing your way through any extra branches which are coming close. And then you find yourselves on the treetop. And you climb up on this very flat tree surface. Almost like the foliage has kind of grown down and around it, creating almost like a ball top surface of this bark that stretches outward. Very thick branch, goes all the way out, almost like a kind of a ledge that's going all the way outward. And on the end of that, you see there's a bowl. It's probably about 4 foot thick. There's a bowl at the end, which has a series of fruits and foods in it. And much closer to where the ladder comes up. And this whole area is only probably the circular portion when you climb up there is probably only about 30 foot by 30 foot. Right in the center, with his hands kind of wrapping around his knees, wearing very basic kind of linen and cloth, watching the bowl, staring forward, is Balder. His blonde hair blowing against his face, and occasionally he brushes it out of the way and continues staring forward. For you, Amanita, though humanoid, you can see that he's incredibly handsome, very kind of comely to look at, and has very gentle, both skin tone, eyes, his hair almost looks at that kind of same glimmer you get from gold. And there's just something warming about his presence. He turns his head to look at all of you. You can see tears in his eyes. And he... Good to see you, my friend. And turns back towards looking at the bowl.
Wilby is gonna approach. Balder, it's good to see you too. Is everything okay?
Yes, I've just... Sorry, I didn't mean to show myself so vulnerable in front of...
You're beautiful.
And you're very kind. I see you've got a new friend.
Yes.
I wanna come up and kind of take in the whole scene and check out the person and see what's in the bowl that he has.
Okay. Yeah, you can wander over towards the bowl. Be careful over there. What brings you?
Well, keep things simple. We recently, in the last day, lost Draven. And the circumstances around that loss require us to seek out some work. And we need to find Frey. And we were wondering if you knew where they were.
I didn't see him long ago. If he's in the same location, then yes, he's in his moving grove. I can...
Here in Alfheim.
You're in Alfheim. I've got a feeling that he has no reason to currently leave. I can mark it for you. And he kind of points for you over kind of towards the north of Alfheim. It's just west of Bastavor. And there's this kind of just small location that he kind of runs his finger around and says, he has a grove here. You'll only find it if you're whistling a tune. Like a seesaw.
Who here can whistle?
What if
I
you
can
don't have lips?
And
Eldred Laner and I can whistle.
best to leave it to the
Ooh.
others. Whistle that as you walk in that grove. It'll appear itself to you. And if he gives you any problems for why you know that whistle, just let him know that I told you.
It should be fine. What troubles you, Balder?
Yes.
Fate. I know that as a god you lived for so long. And when we found out our fate so long ago, I was scared for a time. And then I came to terms with it. And then I forgot how I came to terms with it. Because it just seemed so far away. But as Ragnarok closes, and we come closer to it, I know that there's something very horrible about knowing that your death will be the beginning of the end. No matter what you do, you can't prepare anyone for it. So I've been spending the last couple of weeks thinking about that, and well, here there was a bird called the Sivak. Comes every probably millennia. Anytime within a millennia. To feed. It is the fastest bird in all of Alfheim, so rarely seen, and the only god to have ever seen one is Frey.
Wow.
So, I put out food for it, and I'm hoping within my luck, before all of this ends, I get to get one glance of this bird.
This food? I'm just kind of like touching it,
He kind of smiles,
tasting
nods his head to you and goes,
it.
"Don't worry too much. I highly doubt it's ever gonna come." He turns and kind of like faces the group, facing away from you, Manitou, and looks across all of you. If you're getting further involved with the gods, then just know what you're doing. Be cautious. When all of this begins, when Ragnarok comes, it won't be easy.
I can't claim to know much about your Ragnarok. I've read a little, I know the basics. I know that both of our lands, fate has played an important part in all of our lives. But I have come to believe, in my adventures here, seeing the actions of my friends and of the gods that I have met. Do not be so certain of the fates that you have been told about, Balder. It is always possible to change one's luck. It is always possible to choose and to make choices that can lead us down different paths.
I know all
Perhaps-
about luck.
Perhaps fate is just a story we have been told so many times we cannot perceive of another ending. And that, in itself, informs the very choices that we make. Perhaps even choices we do not realize that we make. We write that same story for ourselves, the way it has been told to us always. But perhaps if we just choose one different thing, it doesn't have to be the way that it is told to us.
Willoughby's gonna clock this really roundabout way of trying to tell him that stuff's not going to play out the way he thinks it is. I feel like, given Draven's death and how long this fucking last 2 days has been, I'm gonna roll a deception check for like body language of like Willoughby
Shut
is
up.
desperately trying to knot out like something he knows here. 13.
I'm going to give him disadvantage because he wouldn't expect it.
This is also just, Juno hates the idea of fate. It's like, stop talking about fate, it's stupid.
Yeah. This is
So-
like, this whole dynamic has happened twice now of like having to watch someone Willoughby thinks of as like a friend consult and accept their imminent death, and also know that that imminent death may not be as imminent as it
Yeah.
is believed to be, you
Mhm.
know?
He faces towards you, Willoughby. My friend. No. Can everyone roll a perception check for me?
See you later, Amanita.
Everyone, including Wilby.
22.
7, thanks to the
27.
goggles.
Oh, we so perceptive.
Wow, nice.
Oh, look at that. 20s, all 20s above for everyone.
Only Juno and Willoughby see.
Damn.
The DC was 25. Almost like an arrow. This beautiful white bird that embeds itself comes flying down. Its mouth opens like a kingfisher. It scribbles up the food and its claws go up and grab the rest. You feel claws grab around your Manitou, and there's this kind of silent moment where
While it was about to fly away, could Willoughby have tried to cast Speak with Animals to make it wait?
you can try.
Yeah, he's gonna try. He's gonna cast Speak with Animals. Wait just a second.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh boy. It does. That's a nat one.
It doesn't even hit you. Amanda, did you say anything?
I'm out.
Where am I?
You've just felt its claws go around you. It's all within like a second.
Okay. Within that 1 second, I go, oh, my gills!
What are you gonna say you did, Mark?
Because I think that like almost kind of tying into what Juno was saying about fate to Boulder and seeing like having these lightning fast reactions of seeing this like once in a millennium bird that like literally appears for a flash, not realizing that like Willoughby's trying to talk to it or that it's even got a Amanita. I think that like almost wanting to make a point, Juno would want to summon Golden Wisdom almost in an instant. Not to like grab it violently, but maybe just to like slow it down enough for like Boulder to see in case he didn't, or like to like try and like make sure it doesn't fly off with Amanita and stuff like that. Like just try and like maybe gently hold it or block its path.
I'm gonna say
or do something
try
like
and do an athletics check.
that. Can I use my wisdom as I'm using Golden Wisdom?
Yes.
Nice.
Joe, if it's making any roll to escape Juno's athletics check, I'm gonna take a D6 off of their roll.
Okay.
That is going to be well. If it's not with advantage, it's only a 9. I roll poo. Oh, I can make I can make that with advantage because I rolled a natural 1 at the start, and with my philosophy, I can make that with advantage. So that is a 16 technically.
You can do the D6.
Okay. That is a 6 reduced from whatever they got.
They rolled
Maybe.
a 17 plus 11, so 22.
Oh, bums. Never mind.
You try and slow it down. The claws grab hold. You say, "Oh my gills!" And
Yeah,
then,
more. Oh, yeah.
like a dart, disappears off into the distance.
Where'd she
Can
go?
I?
Is Amanita with the bird?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Where's
Oh,
Just took the whole.
Can I?
Order
Can
turns
I?
around. Huh? Yeah.
The bird!
Bird.
The bird that you were just talking about
it
just
took
took
Amanita.
Amanita away!
Can I shout? Can I shout something
Yeah.
from the distance, or like as I'm going? Okay, so above, flying above, zipping away. Spore brother! I understand maps!
Yeah.
Do I hear that?
It's on like the
Maybe you
wind.
don't.
Roll a
Maybe you don't.
Do you know what? Roll a
Maybe
perception
you
check
don't
for,
hear it.
for hearing. 'Cause
Maybe
this,
you don't.
This thing moves at about probably 400 feet per turn. So
13.
you can hear. You don't understand what it says.
They are gone. They are gone. They got carried away by the bird. I saw it.
They have
Yeah,
the sword.
I tried to
right?
stop the bird.
I tried to talk to it. It flew away. I think it hated when I tried to talk to it.
Balder's
Does she
like,
have the sword?
No, I have.
No.
I have a sword.
Okay, but still.
I just said it out loud. Never mind.
A
Yeah, it's
sword.
fine.
Willoughby.
It's fine.
what?
Yeah,
I
our
missed it?
friend's sword.
I mean, I'm sorry about your friend.
Well, right now our friend is attached to the bird, and if they're attached to the bird, if we find the friend, we find the bird. So come on, let's go find your bird. And Willoughby is going to turn into a bird and follow the bird as best he can.
I mean, I think that this bird is long gone. I don't even
Boulder
know where
slumps
he
to,
is.
to the ground, puts his hands around her knees. Fuck. And that's where we're
He
going to
was
end
waiting
tonight's
ages to see
episode.
that bird. He was waiting, and me and Willoughby got to Juno. Willoughby got to see him. Boulder didn't. Probably because he was talking to Willoughby and Juno at the time. We were looking behind him.
Dude.
Tracy, thank you so much for joining us
I was going
on our
to say, that's hell of an
campaign.
exit for a guest.
Like, what's the challenge rating of that bird? Can we just turn into that bird now that he's seen it?
Oh no, this is going to be like a well,
Magic bird. You can't. It counts as a monstrosity. No, you
yeah,
can't do
it's
it.
probably going to be something like 14 because it is a ludicrous. Like, oh, I only put down a few steps.
I was more wondering so I could chase down Amanita before they get thrown like 600 feet off the ground to their death or some shit.
This thing is moving probably 400 feet a turn. This is like the fastest thing.
See you later.
Yeah.
I've had characters move that fast before, dude. That's
That's
not a
true.
big
No,
deal.
it's true. It's true.
It's true. It's true. Expedition Retreat, Monk, probably a million other things.
But there you go. That's the end of tonight's episode. We'll pick up where we left off, and for you, going into Frey's camp next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gonna have time to do that. Definitely be sure. It's definitely next week.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for playing. Tracy, thank you for joining us all these weeks. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. I seriously just had the best time ever. And thank you for taking so much time with me individually as well to like teach me how to play and make my character sheet and everything. And to everybody who's been so welcoming and fun, I seriously just had the best time. Thank you
great
so
having you
much.
the whole time. Yeah, we were
It's
delighted
amazing.
to DM too.
I loved it.
Good.
shit.
Don't worry, I'm sure that the Amanita's fine wherever she's super
true.
resilient,
We-
just
Yeah.
far away.
Tracy was adamant that she wanted something mundane but instant to happen to her character. So,
Yeah.
so you know,
Stolen by magic super
Taken
speed
away
birds.
by a
Flash
fucking
birds.
bird.
Bye bye.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It was so much fun.
people can find Tracy over on Tracy Cola. Everyone, please go and give her a follow. Go hang out with her, and hopefully we get to see more of you play D&D at some point because it was a delight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going
I would love
around.
to.
Otherwise, I'll go around from Gabe's side. Gabe James Games. You can find him across all different social medias. He wasn't here because his character is obviously no longer with us, but he is still in the campaign. You'll have to see his new character soon, and we'll. Well, I won't say anything more. I've seen it. It's very cool.
Nice.
Brizzy.
Hi, I'm Brizzy Voices on all the things Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and here on Twitch. I'm going live right after this to play some
We're hosting-
Tears of the Kingdom, baby. Let's go save Hyrule again.
Oh, I didn't even notice that's what you were. I didn't even notice that necklace.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my god.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I mostly
GG.
yeah,
That's
that's
very
so good.
hidden.
I noticed it. No
I
big
caught
deal.
Jeez.
Yeah, we
Wow.
We knew.
Higher perception checks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw the
I
bird.
suck at those.
The
Yeah,
bird.
I'm bad,
Oh
I'm
god,
bad.
the bird. The gold bird was too fast.
Oh, you're right. You did this. Tomato.
Foreshadowing.
I had nothing.
That's true. He has nothing. He says this every time. Twitch.tv/tomato, everyone. Tracy, again, thank you so much, buddy. Please go and check her out. I saw you're playing War Tales. I don't know if you're playing more War
Yeah.
Tales, but cool. Yeah, cool game.
Cool game.
Cool game.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, I had such a great time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bud. OG can join us, but you can see her on Old Lady Gamer. I don't know if she'll stream this weekend. She might. She's had a lot of work, so she couldn't really come today. But she'll be back next week, so we'll see her then. And Mark, finally.
Hello. I am disassociating from the life in the internet hard right now. But you can still catch me on High Rollers D&D. That's my D&D show that I do. We are in our final level 20 arc. I reckon we have about 8 episodes left.
God, that's so cool.
We've basically got to finish the campaign before one of our cast members has a baby. So we are in like the get it done time. They are fighting at the edges of astral space on spaceships. It's very Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. So if you like that shit, come and check it out.
When's the due date?
End of July, but obviously we don't want to like push it.
Yeah,
all the way to that
You don't want to risk around it. Yeah.
But it's
that's close. Though.
Yeah, it's close, and it's like, yep, we gotta finish this campaign before baby arrives.
Yeah,
So,
that's a tense countdown.
Yeah, so I am in my like, fuck. I'm just gonna. I have my little spreadsheet of like, if this episode hits this point, just finish the fight. The fight ends. Just move on. So, but yeah, come and check it out. High Rollers D&D. You can watch all the previous episodes on YouTube and all of that good stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for playing Joe Fudge in this channel.
Whoop, whoop.
I don't know if I've got anything cool on this upcoming week. I had jury service this week, and I got called out of every single one. No, it was good. I didn't get called in once this week. They kept telling me it's cancelled, and apparently next week I'm out of it. So I don't have to do it at all. So that's the only announcement I have, is that there will be streams this upcoming week, because there wasn't going to be.
GG.
But other than that, thanks everyone for coming out. I really do appreciate it. Much love to you all, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Go and watch Bridget, everyone. Play some Zelda. We're going to raid in now, so go and watch it. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.